Shalom family. So I don't know if you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, some of you might have seen it already. I thought I would definitely touch on this for various reasons. Pastor kicked off stage for criticizing strip show-like performance at a mega church event. Now I already have issues just with the word mega church and the events they hold. Controversy erupted at the Stronger Men's Conference in Springfield, Missouri, organized by James River Church, a notable Pentecostal megachurch, when Pastor Mark Driscoll publicly criticized a strip show-like performance by Alexander Magala. And I go look into him, Google him, and see where he comes from. That alone will shock you. He is a sword swallower and a Vegas performer known for his past as a male stripper. And he's got a pole and everything in this thing. The outspoken pastor took the stage and expressed his dismay, suggesting that the performance was akin to the seductive acts found in a strip club and indicative of a Jezebel spirit. After allowing a stripper on stage, megachurch pastor John Lindell claims you can't criticize him, otherwise you'll be headed towards unbelief and live a barren life. Now, when a minister or a pastor or an evangelist or a prophet or anyone says you can't criticize them or you'll have a barren life, you can't touch them because God has chosen them, that should be your first warning bell. And yes, the word says, touch not my anointed, but those anointed should be accountable. And they should have people like Moses had, lifting their hands, watching them, guiding them, standing by them to ensure that these kind of things don't happen. That is not the case here, and they're making themselves untouchable and unanswerable to anybody. Now, my problem here is that was awesome. Well done, Mark. Fantastic. Then he messed it up. Mark Driscoll apologizes and returns to the men's conference after being scolded from pastor for rebuking the circus act. Hours after rebuking what he dubbed as a Jezebel spirit at the men's event over the weekend, Pastor Mark Driscoll was invited back to the platform in Missouri. After thanking Lindell for having such a great heart for men and leading what he described as the greatest men's event in the country, Driscoll acknowledged the James Rivers pastor's spiritual authority over the conference, admitting he was wrong in how he addressed his concerns. Then why bother standing up for what's right and what's biblical at all? I'm sorry. You threw that away when you stepped up now and apologized. And yes, I watched the clip. He goes on about how this man's like a spiritual father to him and was there for him in the past. I'm sorry. Even if you did that for me, even if you were there for me in the past, even if you're a spiritual father to me, if you step outside of what God has taught, the biblical precepts, and you are changing the word of God, and you're allowing evil in, I will stand against you openly, because I am always going to stand on the side of God, and therein lies my problem with the end of the story. But don't take my word for it. Go and watch the videos and decide for yourself. But it's one more example of what's happening to the church at large in these final moments. Keep looking up and stick to the word of God. Be very careful, because we are surrounded by ravenous wolves dressed in sheep's clothing. Shalom.